welcome back to our channel. So today we're going to talk about celibacy. This is something that we've talked about off camera, the three of us, and we think that we should share our thoughts and our perspective on it, and yeah, basically our take on celibacy. My take on celibacy, well, first of all, I feel like celibacy has this like negative like people have a negative perspective about celibacy, because people think that, oh, you think that you're better than other people because you're celibate, or oh, just because I'm having sex and you're not having sex, you think that you're better than me. I feel like a lot of people don't understand why people choose to be celibate, but they look at them for those ones, for Sasa, this one thinks she's better than me or he's better than me. But I feel like if you're going to choose to be celibate, you should do it for your own personal reasons. It could be religion, if you're a religious person. If you're not, then well and good, just do it for your own personal reasons. If I choose to be celibate, I would choose to do it because of my own personal relationship with God, and I'm doing it because I would want to just have a clear mind. I wouldn't want any distractions, which sex, by the way, sex can just make you, it can make a lot of things complicated. Yeah, it can make a lot of things complicated. So
it can mess with your mind.
Yeah, it can mess with your mind. And then for women, you know, we have like an emotional thingy. Like for most of us, we can't just have sex and then,
yeah.
You know,
and there's actually a scientific thing. Like when women have sex, we release oxytocin, which is the same chemical we release when we're having babies. Imagine that attachment.
So
that's
you get like, there's just like a whole emotional roller coaster when you have sex that I would choose to not go through. Yeah. So I would rather just if I am doing it for my own like personal reasons, that would be one of them, and just to have a clear mind when I'm working on my relationship with God, when I'm working on my relationship with whoever I am with. That's just my perspective, though. This is such like a hard topic to talk about, because you can be stepping on toes and all of that, but we're just giving out like our point of view.
So please don't come at us.
Don't come at us.
Serious.
Don't come at us.
Do you, boo? So for me, I think in today's world, for example, we're told war is holy and sex is obscene. I think we have it all twisted, right? There is a very thin line, if I can put it like that, between what is right and what is wrong. And sex, if we go back, I think the best way to talk about something is to go back to where it came from. Who created sex? Like, where did it come from? What was the reason for sex? Sex was for, God created sex for procreation and pleasure, right? For two people to come together and be one. And also, sex was holy. Sex was something that was upheld. It wasn't something that, in today's world, it's made to seem like it's a bad thing, but it's not. Actually, in the right context, sex is a good thing. I think we should get that correct before we go anywhere else. So I think sex is a good thing, but people have defined it and put tags and all these things to it and made it look like it's from hell, it's not right. It's actually right. I'm married and it's okay to have sex when you're married. It's actually, even in our constitution, I think you can file or sue someone if they don't give you your conjugal rights. So it's something that I know it sounds funny.
I think that's such a silly thing to be in the constitution.
It is, but it's there. So I think that's what I'm saying. We put tags to it. It's supposed to be done in this context. But let's go back to the beginning. Why was sex created? And God is the one who created sex. I mean, we didn't come up with it. It's God who created. If I was to advise my small sister or my single friends here, I'd tell them to wait. I'm not single. Oh, sorry.
Hey.
Now.
Please, I'm not on demand here too.
She's taken, sorry. I'd say, okay, any other person who is single, right? I'd tell them to wait. Why? Because you can just think straight and make better decisions when you're chill. Because I feel like when you have sex, you end up creating a tie in terms of you have this deeper connection, this thing that makes you go crazy in your head. The things people say, they make you go cuckoos. Yeah, so you can't make the right decision because you're in love with this person. Because honestly, sex is supposed to bind two people together. So when you have sex, you become one, literally. That's what I believe. So when you become one, you can make solid decisions in terms of, because you're in love. You're not seeing, what's the right word? You're not seeing the real person. Your mind is clouded by a feeling or an emotion, which is not bad. But at the same time, when you're single and you're not yet yoked to this person, because marriage is what like yokes you to this person, why do you want to be in that place? That's just my opinion. Otherwise, that's just my take on sex, guys. If you feel different, let us know in the comments. Maybe let's hear what Diwani has to say.
I think, well, I definitely agree with Tabby on the whole idea that sex has become like this whole dirty, you know, like, oh my god kind of thing. And I think maybe that's why we even link people who, you know, choose to be celibate, we link them to feeling like they're better than the rest of us, because sex is made to seem like such a horrible thing that, you know, those people who are choosing not to have sex must definitely think they're better than us. They're choosing the clean thing or whatever it is. And in my experience, I would definitely say that for whoever wants to be celibate, you know what, like, power to you, go ahead and do it. But growing up as someone, you know, in a very strong, from a very strong Christian family, in, oh, I don't know, strong Christian family, but like a very strong Christian country, and going to Catholic school and, you know, going to mass every day, and even the Nigerian society as it is, there's this thing, you know, that like we were all brought up to think, you know, if you ever have sex before marriage, you know, like you have lost your value, like, you know, you are not, your husband won't trust you, and, you know, no man will ever want to marry you, and all these silly things. And I always grew up wondering why we were being told those things, because for one, boys weren't being told that. Boys were being told to stay safe, protect themselves, you know, but I was being told that if I had sex with a guy in my future, like my future would be messed up, essentially, my love life. And it really makes you start doubting yourself and start linking your value to sex, which is so stupid, because sex is an action just like anything else. And if we're not going to define ourselves by all these other actions we take, why are we defining ourselves by this one singular action, sex, right? So for me, if I, like, you know, had a daughter and I wanted to tell her, I had a younger sister, for instance, I wouldn't say wait. I don't think wait would be the word I would concentrate on. I think what I would concentrate on is know yourself. Like, before you choose to have sex with anybody, know yourself. Like, know who you are, know what you stand for,
and know if you can,
your value.
If you can take the, what is it called, the baggage.
I mean, but I think I see it even from like an emotional point of view, right? We say that when you have sex, a little bit of you know, you get a bit confused or murky or whatever. I know women, like I went to college with women who honestly, they sleep with one guy today and tomorrow they're fine. They're not trying to call that nigga up. They're not trying to be his best friend, or like, they're cool, because these are women who know themselves. They know my value isn't linked to this man, you know, nothing about me changed just because I had sex with him. None of the things I believed in changed. None of, you know, I haven't changed as a person. And I think even more importantly, as the Christian I am today, whatever choice I make, whether or not it's to sleep with people, my Christianity should not be defined by the fact that I'm having sex or not. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest with ourselves, every Christian picks and chooses what they want to follow from the Bible. The Bible says so many things that all of us are doing, and we call ourselves Christians and we're not following it. So don't come and judge someone else and say, but you, in fact, it's sex in particular that you are doing, that one is wrong. No one should lay judgment on anyone from a Christian point of view. It's just, I mean, that just makes us hypocrites, because all of us are sinners from the time we were born. So let's just face front, everybody, face your own lane, do your own thing, and know why you're doing it.
But my advice, straight up, wait. Because if you're not ready to take up the responsibility of sex, honey, you will really struggle and have a hard time.
But since everyone said what they would say to their younger sister or their daughter, if they had a daughter, I realized I didn't say anything. So if I had a younger sister, if I had a daughter, I don't know if I would. I think I would combine what both of you have said, because I would tell them, if I would advise you to wait. But if you end up not waiting, like if you end up having sex, then I would want my daughter or my sister to come and tell me. Because then I would be able to tell you, your value as a Christian, your value as a woman has not decreased. You're still amazing. You're still the Christian that you were yesterday before you had sex. You're still the woman that you were yesterday before you had sex. So that's, I think, what we can take from this video.
I think, thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you for watching.
Not I think. Thank you for watching, guys.
Thank you for watching.
And join us
again,
in the
please
comment.
We
we
really want
your
to start talking about stuff that you guys relate to, or rather you would like us to talk about. This is not just about what we think about issues, it's also what you think. This is girl chat. So let us know what you'd like us to talk about, and catch us next week on our next video.
So like she said, if you have any suggestions of videos we should do, or any topics you want us to explore and talk about, let us know in the comment section, and
subscribe.
So bye guys, see you in the next video.